Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. It's definitely got some good and bad things here. Okay, so we got this, invalidation of this long trend line, but we also got a potential flag type of pattern here where the price action continues higher, works itself into a channel and essentially breaks out. So again, this could potentially break to the upside, but that's a consolation at this point. If Bitcoin does end up pulling back, then we will see a shift of momentum for Solana because we're definitely down below some key level resistances. So just friendly advice here. You may want to watch the entire video to ensure you understand the big picture, but more important, try not to rush into anything right now. Okay, so again, I do think Solana still has tremendous potential, but now that we're under that $100 mark or that $98 to $100 mark, there's a solid chance that could be a new resistance. Quick congrats to our community members here for some awesome profits. Yes, we did take an injective stop loss yesterday, complete transparency. That was our first stop loss for the month though, so I'm not concerned with it. You shouldn't be either because most of our trades look like this here, 50% for Chainlink, a secondary trade for Chainlink at about 33%. And of course, we took a Matic short last night at 14, and our Premium Plus bot is scalping the crap out of the market right now. Solana, Matic, XRP, Matic, Solana. So awesome stuff there. Congrats to our community members for that. Took some nice trades there, basically going both directions, up and down. Right now, of course, majority of our take profit targets are going to the upside, but we're going to see if that momentum has shifted or anything of that sort is happening. Taking a look quickly here, we can recognize there's a lot of longs here at this $93 mark. So $93 hedged with some heavy longs. So the price doesn't end up pulling back. Just know 95 will be the next target. Okay, so truth is, we don't know if it's going to pull back yet. There are some recent liquidity levels that have been swept. Let's quickly peek at the last 12 hours and just see kind of what people are thinking here. And we can see, again, a lot of shorts entering in, roughly at about 98 to 100. Okay, big surprise. 98 to $100 has always been that strong support or resistance zone. Okay, so again, the price has a tendency of just kind of getting close to that level, retesting it, breaking through, holding above. Once it breaks through, it holds below. Like you can see here, look at this. The price shoots up, clears this little level here. Comes over here, shoots down, clears this level, testing it as a resistance now. We're going to see if this channel, or this inverse channel, so to speak, is going to work as a resistance for us. Let's find out. So daily time frame, quickly understand what's going on in the big picture. Now, we can even look at the weekly here. I don't see a problem with that. Double check a few key factors. We're above the all moving averages, so still good there. Stochastic swinging down. We've talked about this previously last week, whereas the RSI and money flow index are right at that sweet spot at 70. The key takeaway here is we're bullish, but the stochastic RSI is still swinging down, letting us know that this downtrend may still be continuing. You got to keep in mind, though, stochastic RSI is a lagging indicator. It's not going to be able to tell you right away what's happening. It'll just tell you when it's hit its kind of critical mass or critical peak, so to speak. We're getting close to the bottom, which is a good sign, but it doesn't mean we're not at the bottom, okay? So you got to recognize that. MACD here also trying to diverge, but hasn't yet. So truth is we got some invalidations, but for the most part, we have more bullish than bearish on the weekly. Daily time frame here, we can recognize a very similar scenario here. We're above the 20 and the 50-day SMA. They're both hanging out right there at about $95. Telling us and reaffirming 95 as a support. We talked about that yesterday, being the level we need to hold to be validated for this uptrend here, because this just really just implies this is a natural correction for this potential break to the upside. I like to emphasize the word potential break because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 8 days where the price has tried to break through that 0.5 fib at 103. I'm rounding up a little bit, but 103 is that resistance level for Solana. So we got some interesting little things going on here, right? So a lot of different case scenarios, but at this point, stochastic RSI is swinging down. This one's a little bit more impactful. We're at 50 on the RSI. We lose 50 on the RSI. Me personally, I think that would be a consideration for a short. And then of course we got MACD trying to diverge, but hasn't yet. So again, we can confirm we're mostly on the right side of tracks here, and that there are some predictive, so to speak, indicators letting us know we could see that shift in momentum. But again, that's just averaging itself out to the downside based on the fact the price has continued up. So what we typically want to do in situations like this is we want the RSI to maintain 50. We want stochastic to swing down and the price goes sideways at about 97. This time tomorrow, we should see a stochastic swing back to the upside, and that would be a case in point where we may want to consider a long position going to the weekend. Again, hypothetically, this is all on the daily. The 4-hour time frame is a little bit more impactful. This is telling us here that we're seeing our second, keep in mind second, this is a big deal, folks, where we can see our second stochastic RSI, okay? Second convergence carries much more weight than the first. As you can see, the price action is recovering a lot better than we did previously. Last time we came down to stochastic RSI, we plateaued, price went down. This time, we're effectively creating higher lows and higher highs in smaller time frames. Okay, so we can recognize that's positive. What isn't positive is being rejected off 50 in the RSI. That's coinciding here with that $98 resistance level. In fact, the price is almost rejected perfectly off 98. So that could be the top. Okay, that just implies that if Bitcoin's at its top at 43,000, then we'll see the price pull back. Personally, after looking at Bitcoin earlier today, it's exuding still a lot of bullish behavior, but it's still a complete mess. Speaking of mess, this is kind of what we use to describe the market. I just sent this out today. This is my representation of Bitcoin over the last, 2 weeks since the ETF. Okay, so it's fairly garbage, and there's no doubt that the charts are not super awesome. Okay, regardless of that fact, we got to deal with what we have here, right? And the key, I think, is to make sure you don't overtrade and ensure that you're taking good, responsible trades. For the most part, minus one outlier, we had 24 out of 25 successful trades last month. I'm going to celebrate that. That's a very positive sign. Okay, that's roughly 95% if I'm not mistaken, and it's a really good situation. Maybe more so 96. Either way, I'll send the results out on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and I can just tell you that even though we only netted about 1,500% this month versus roughly 3,600 last month, we're still profitable. We're still walking away in the green, and that's the important thing. Okay, so folks, I got to just tell you, you have one bad trade, it doesn't ruin everything. You can't just run and hide because that one thing happens. You deal with it, you figure out what happened, and you move on. And you got to just use your own risk tolerance, because just because my trades might work really well for me doesn't mean it will work well for you. Okay, so just please understand that. I'm going to draw some trend lines here just to give us perspective on kind of what's going on, just so we can kind of pay attention here effectively and kind of just see if we can break through this little descending trend. All right, so that's where we're at here for the 4 hour. Generally speaking, mostly good, just not great. Okay, 1 hour time frame. This is also the scenario here in which it doesn't look great, but also not terrible. So let's explain that. What I mean by that, lagging span soon intersect here. So what that basically implies is if you have a short position open, you want to consider closing it. That's a good sign for the bulls. The lagging span hasn't intersected with the price action yet. Lagging span hasn't intersected with the baseline, which implies that we don't have enough momentum, or there was so much momentum to the downside, it's taken a while for it to catch up. That's very standard. The reason why this is important is once you cross this level here, you're essentially establishing higher highs and breaking above this most recent high. Okay. And now this wasn't much of a high; it was still more of a descending trend. But the truth is, getting above that level, the most recent low, effectively, is an important starting point. Okay. So again, that's a good sign. And once again, higher lows and higher highs, effectively. So you got to keep in mind that's really good, but is this just a little, type of bear flag, right? Very well could be. So to me, I'm still not convinced that this price action is looking good. We need to be above this descending trend line for starters. More importantly, above the cloud, which puts us exactly at $100 even. So $100 is the turning point for us. I am not going to be convinced to take a long before I see $100. Inversely, I would say, or conversely, however, at this point, if we continue to reject out at 98, which it seems probable, it might be a decent shorting opportunity for Solana. Okay, so just throwing it out there, that's generally what we're at, and that's kind of what we're looking for there. So in the overall sense of things, Solana doesn't look phenomenal, but it certainly doesn't look terrible. Okay, do I think the sky's going to fall? No, a lot of it hinges on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is exuding some bullish signs, so I'm going to have to wait for a long position on Solana personally. Obviously, for a short position, we're going to need to confirm that Bitcoin cannot close above 43K today. I think if we close at 42.8 or lower for Bitcoin, we would invalidate the uptrend and potentially be able to come down lower. But we're still 24 to 40 hours from confirming factors on Bitcoin. That's kind of where we're at. So I don't love it, folks. That's just kind of how it is. And that's the market right now, okay? So if you don't like the fact the market isn't getting a lot of confirming factors, then maybe you shouldn't trade. I'm not saying in total. I'm just saying in general, trade less. Less is more. It's okay to not go a day without trading. I do it all the time. Trust me. I get questions every day why I'm not trading, but most of it comes down to stuff like this. This garbage type of market, for lack of better terms, and it's not phenomenal. Can you still make money in this market? Totally. We're doing it all the time, but once again, different strokes for different folks. Okay. Last thing that's important, make sure you check it out. Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, link down below. No KYC, no VPN. Be sure to check them out. They are a phenomenal exchange. They've done very well from our community. Thank you again so much for that. Again, the opportunity more so for our members. And thanks to our members, too, for just making my life a beautiful place. I really love being able to work with you every single day. It's awesome stuff. So thanks again, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your day. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is the site. At the very least, check out our Discord, Telegram, and Twitter. Those are obviously free sites where you can just kind of benefit and sponge, be a fly on the wall, interact, whatever. We'd love to have you. Have a good rest of your day. See you again soon. Thanks again.